what Arafat walked away from, Palestinian state with a capital in East Jerusalem, 96% of the West Bank.
How you guys doing? This is Official Sahar TV. You remember how I always talk about the Palestinian state offer that Israel gave to the Palestinians in the year 2000? Bill Clinton, former president of the United States, is talking exactly about this, explaining how Yasser Arafat simply walked away from a perfectly fine Palestinian state. Before we get to the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, and let's watch.
Look, I think what's happened there in the last 25 years is one of the great tragedies of the 21st century. And when I tell the young people, for example, who are understandably in America, or let's say they're super sympathetic with the Palestinians, well, they've been killed, a lot of those Palestinians have, and all they know is that a lot more Palestinians have been killed than Israelis. And I tell them what Arafat walked away from. And they can't believe it. I said, oh yeah, he walked away from a Palestinian state with a capital in East Jerusalem, 96% of the West Bank, 4% of Israel to make up for the 4% that the settlers occupy that were beyond the borders in the 67 war.
And that's for all the pro-Palestine creators debunking me about me saying 96% of the West Bank was offered to be given to the Palestinians, but they refused. 4% was left to make sure that there's specific security for Israel. They tried to debunk something that's obviously truth. He was the guy mediating the deal.
And I go through all the stuff that was in the deal, and they it's not on their radar screen. They can't even imagine that happened. And I tell them, you know, the first and most famous victim of an attempt to give the Palestinians a state was Prime Minister Rabin, whom I think loved as much as I ever loved another man. And so Rabin, he dies, and then Shimon Peres is defeated in the election, and where the rest of it is history. But you walk away from these once-in-a-lifetime peace opportunities, and you can't complain 25 years later when the doors weren't all still open and all the possibilities weren't still there. You can't do it. It's just...
Your voice just cracked when you said that.
Yeah. I'm an old guy. I have my regrets. That's one of them.
Even if Yasser Arafat would have accepted the peace deal in the year 2000, I don't think we would have had peace. They have no intention in creating a Palestinian state. They have one intention. The intention is to destroy the Jewish one in order to create a Palestinian caliphate on top of it. I know some of you may be shocked about what I'm saying right now, but that is absolutely correct. If they do have any desire in a Palestinian state, why didn't they build a Palestinian state between 1948 and 1967, when Jordan occupied the West Bank and Egypt occupied Gaza? Why didn't they form a Palestinian state? They had no desire to do so. And let's imagine for a second a situation in which the Arab countries that invaded Israel in 1948 won the war. What do you think this place would have been called? Do you think it would have been called Palestine? Or do you think it would have been called Egypt or Syria, Bilad Hasham, Greater Syria? I know you know the answer. I know you know the answer. That just proves to you that the Palestinians are not after a Palestinian state. They're just playing victims to keep this problem alive. That's why they're not settled for the past 77 years. Sucks, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. And if you want to help me financially, you can do so through the links down below of Buy Me Coffee and Patreon. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again in the next video.